everybody. Welcome to the Comments from the Peanut Gallery podcast. I'm your host, Jordan Kurtz. I'm right here, right now, live in the Factory X office. Shout out to Coach Mark Montoya with my man, El Guapo, Chris Gutierrez. How you doing today, man?
I'm good, brother. I'm good.
It's always great to hear that. Especially on the, on the eve of, where you're in the middle of fight camp, I guess I should say.
Yes, sir.
So, why don't you tell a little bit more about yourself? Where can people follow you? What's coming up?
I'll be headlining LFA in Belton, Texas, October 19th. Against a very game opponent. But you can follow me on at Twitter at C Gutierrez MMA, Instagram El Guapo MMA, of course Facebook. But yeah.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So, LFA, is this your or how many? What's your experience with LFA?
This is going to be my second.
This is the second one. Okay, I was going to say I know that you had at least one before. I couldn't remember how many that I had seen on the Tapology list.
Yes, sir. Yeah, just one. Yeah, I had one. I'm 1-0 with them, so looking to make it two.
Yeah. Keep that ball rolling.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So you've got your fight shorts on. You've got some sponsors right there. Is anybody you want to shout out? Anybody you want to throw in the mix right away?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, I want to thank God. Without Him, nothing is possible. Second, I do, Factory X. It's my new home. They've been very good to me, man, and the training is incredible. It's taken me to a whole new level. Strength conditioning, Landau Performance. Man, it's state-of-the-art facility, and they know what they're doing. I'm finally not doing it myself because I didn't know what I was doing. But, so Landau Performance, thank you. Jim Walter, my manager. And I have a couple other sponsors in Texas, Scott Cornad's law office. He's an attorney, really good guy, and very genuine person. And that's about it. Oh, and Denver Chiropractor as well.
Denver Chiropractor, nice. Yeah. I know they've got a few of you guys here
at
the Factory X squad taking care
They're good, man. This is my first time ever doing chiropractor, so it works. At first, I wasn't a believer, but you start going long enough, you realize it works.
My thought with chiropractic science is you have to have the muscular system to support the skeletal system in that way. So that's where I feel like for athletes and high performing individuals like yourself, that's where it makes sense.
Yeah.
Someone that goes, then it's that's what it is. It's an adjustment. It's keeping all of your your channels in line. But if you're someone who is out of shape and you're carrying extra body fat, everything along those lines, you're not taking care of yourself. Well, that adjustment is more so all for naught because you don't have the support there to be able to hold that adjustment in place.
True.
So I think that it all goes hand in hand.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I learn as I go. So
yeah, definitely.
So I'm glad I wish I would have had it starting out, but hey, everything happens for a reason. We're here now.
If we knew 10 years ago what we know now, right?
That's true.
So you've been about 10 years in the game right now since you started training, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your journey. What's got you to this point, sitting right here in Coach's office?
It's been a hell of a journey. I'll tell you that. I started training when I was about 15, almost 16. Just started training in Greenville, Texas. That's where I've been at. In a little gym called Chop Shop MMA. That's where it all started. Okay. And just training. I had my first fight at 18. That was the legal. Now you can do it, I think, 16, but with a permission, a waiver.
And
but
if I'm not mistaken, it's state to state on the 16 portion.
Yeah, certain ones.
This is down in Texas, though,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
That's the Wild West, man.
So it is. So I mean, it's been great, man. It's been a long road. To get to where I'm at now, man, I've had to sacrifice a lot. I've had to sacrifice a lot of family time, a lot of friendships, a lot of relationships. In a way, you got to be selfish. And, a lot of people don't understand that. They just think that you turn pro and then the money's just coming. They see you with the title of professional, and, it doesn't work like that. Every pro athlete starts off at the bottom and you have to work your way to the top. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just trying. And I ended up moving here about a year. Exactly a year ago. And I moved here, and a friend of mine, Brian Foster, was telling me that I needed to check this place out if I was going to move up here. And he gave me Coach Mark Montoya's number, and I called him up and.
Speak of the man himself.
That's right. That's right. No, I mean, just we kicked it off. He you can tell there was no bullshit with him. He told me exactly how the gym is ran and what he expects, and he asked you, he asked, can you do that? Is that something you wanted to do? And I told him, I wanted to be a world champion. And he goes, okay, if that's what you want to do, then this is what it takes. And I'm here now, man, and I don't look back at it. This is a blessing. Everything happens for a reason, and I'm excited. I'm excited for what's in store.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's a great culture around here within these four walls here at Factory X in Englewood. What is it like for you to come from somewhere else to come into a room that has this much talent, this much of just an everybody build everybody type of culture?
It's amazing. It's very structured here. It's very, you don't just come in here and spar or just do what you're good at. And that's, and I'm not going to say that's what all I've done, but in a way, that's all we did. You kind of stick to what you're good at. Mm-hmm. And for a while I was kind of training myself, and you don't really learn like that. And when I come here, everything's so structured and they get you out of your comfort zone. And now, I'm more of a complete fighter than I've ever been, and I've been here a year, and I've seen, a big leap that I've made in that year. That's what I said. I'm excited. I'm a completely different fighter than what I was last year, and so that's why I'm excited, man. I'm very excited.
That's awesome, man. With that being said, what is, I guess, a focus point that you've had for this camp coming into your LFA fight? Yo, for you out there seeing coaches flexing on us,
let us know. Well, what's a focus point in this? It's the end result. The goal is, to make it to the UFC and be a world champion. That's the vision. That's the path. That's the only way in my eyes. And so, the focus point is that. But I no longer do it for myself. I used to be all about me, and and in a way, I'm still selfish in a way because you have to do it for yourself. But I have things that motivate me. I have a son. He's a year and 3 months. His name's Adrian. So first and foremost for him, I want to set. I want to leave a legacy behind, and I want to inspire people, motivate people. But mostly, I want to let my son know to follow his dreams and let no one detour him, and tell him that that his dream is too big, because that's what I had. Not by my parents, but by other negative people would always tell me that it's not. Some dreams are just not. They're out of your reach. And for a while I believed them, but here and being with Coach Mark and everybody in this gym, that's their drive is their goal is the same as mine, and that's to be a world champion. So I've yet to hear somebody drag somebody down. I'll go. You go around telling I'm gonna be in the UFC, and the person's like, yeah, me too. Let's get there together. That's amazing. So the focus point is my son and my family. I'm very big on family, and and I also want to be able to give back to people that have helped me. So I have a couple of things that I do it for.
That's awesome, man. I feel like it's always a good thing when you're doing things for the greater good.
Yes, sir.
Having that because you do have to have a little bit of a selfish initiative or a selfish portion to what you're doing, just because at the end of the day, it is you that is in there when they lock that cage door. Yeah. It is you and only you in that respect. So I could totally understand, totally relate as it comes to that, but having something that's bigger than you, I feel like is also a very good thing.
You got to. In my eyes, I believe life is going to hit you with things that, if you're only doing it for yourself, things are going to hit you that's bigger than you. Mm-hmm. And if you don't have something in your back pocket that you can pull out and kind of look, and if you don't have something where it can motivate you, something to light a fire under your ass, you're going to give up. And I'm very big on that. I always do it. I'm doing it for a bigger cause than just me, and so, and that's my main focus.
When you had your son, was there ever I guess, a second guessing your path type of moment or anything like that, or like a moment of doubt, like, do I want to do something that's putting myself physically, in jeopardy, or was there ever any of that sort of moment that you had, or not at all?
No, man. No, I mean, I wanted to be a professional soccer player growing up, but I let negative people, and I kind of let the dream slip away, and I got into martial arts because I was just a kid, and I was rough, but I've always loved martial arts. Bruce Lee, who didn't love him, and Jean-Claude Van Damme. I always wanted to learn all. I wanted to be Bruce Lee, when I was younger, and that was your role model, and that was your idol, martial arts idol, and I wanted to be that. And my parents were very big on martial arts, and learning how to defend yourself is just a confidence booster for you. If you ever needed to use it, you know how. It doesn't mean you have to go around picking fights. That's not what you should do. But if it ever came to a point in time, you know how to handle yourself. And so when my son was born, it was never any question about, I shouldn't be doing this if I get hurt. I'm not. I have good IQ in fighting, so I'm not.
Right.
Was never a thing. It actually drove me more. Like, man, I want to be successful. I want to be able to instill in my son that follow your dreams, follow them. Don't half-ass nothing. If you're gonna go in, go in. And to this day, I don't look back at it.
That's awesome, man. That's incredible to hear it that way.
Thank you.
Yeah, and just always just hearing people's why, like that's motivation for me itself. I try to be as much of a positive force for the people out there. Everybody's going to go through their negative points. Everybody's going to go through adverse circumstances. But it's a matter of, can you be able to overcome those and surround yourself with the right people who aren't going to make those worse? It seems like you've had a good support system that's helped you get to this point, man.
Yeah, man, this last year has been, I don't want to get into it, but it's, I've hit rock bottom, and I've, thank God I have the support system that I have, and this gym has been a paramount in my life, and Coach Mark, I can't speak enough good about the guy, man. He's, like I said, I always tell him he's like an angel in my life, and the support system has helped a lot. I was able to pick myself up, dust myself off, and me and Coach, we had a talk. What's the vision? What's the goal? And it's the same as when I first stepped foot in here. And that's to make it to the big show.
That's awesome, man. Have you fought your 35s for this coming up fight?
Yes,
Have you been 35s your entire pro career, or what does that look like?
For the majority part, I got like 2 or 3 at 45. They're just like late, short notice fights.
Short notice ones.
I think my pro debut was. One of my teammates got injured, and it was like in 3 weeks, and I was just like, sure, I'll do it. I wanted to go. It was that time to go pro, and I fought a monster.
Yeah.
So I ended up knocking him out in the 3rd round, but man, it was hell getting it.
Oh, I'm sure, especially at that point. With that, have you ever had any sort of difficulties, any sort of complications with cutting or getting to 35? Any sort of issue there?
No, I've always been smart about cutting weight, and I never let myself get too big, and I eat healthy, but I am Hispanic, so when your mom's around and she want to cook, it's amazing. You can't say no to it. But I mean, I'm smart, and I don't just go to McDonald's and eat burgers 7 days a week. I do it 6 days a week, but no, I'm joking. No. I mean, I treat myself, but it's never been an issue. It sucks, but I make it, and I make it good.
That's understandable. I feel like talking about mama's cooking and all that sort of stuff. Discipline equals freedom. I'm a big Jocko Willink fan, so my thought is with the coming stuff like eating, all of that. If you're disciplined the majority of the time, just call it the 90-10 principle, if you will. If you're disciplined 90% of the time, and if you follow the course,
right,
that 10% isn't going to delineate you. We got Anthony Lionheart Smith in the background shouting himself out there. So, like I say, there's a lot of killers around here at Factory X. There's a lot of talent in the room. If you hear the chiming in the background, Yusuf Zalal, everywhere that he goes, you're gonna hear Yusuf.
I actually submitted Anthony Smith today. He won't tell you, but I got him. I didn't, but whatever. I'm gonna run with it.
Let's just run with it, right?
We'll
there,
run
you
with
know?
it.
That's awesome, man. So, just a couple of quick questions for you with just stylistic things. What's your preference? What do you like to bring to the table that way? Are you a guy who likes to let it bang, or you like to grapple? What do you like?
Wherever the fight goes.
Wherever it goes.
Wherever it goes. I'm comfortable wherever. So it is what it is. It's a fight.
Okay.
Sometimes you go in there with a game plan, and it's sometimes it doesn't work out, and you have to be able to flip the script and do something else. Plan B, plan C, plan. You know what I mean? You have to be able to flip it and run with it. So, and that's what I feel I'm really good. I'm really good at when something's not working, at finding a way, and that's what I bring to the table.
That's awesome, man. You got to be able to find a way, though.
Yeah, you got to.
With the with the Mike Tyson quote. Sorry, Anthony, out there.
Yeah.
Anthony threw me off a little bit out there, but with the Mike Tyson quote, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face.
Exactly.
So being able to adapt, that's huge. That's big time.
My plan is to punch him in the face.
That is always the ultimate goal, to not take the punishment,
exactly,
right?
Exactly. Hey, but it's a fight. It happens.
Oh yeah, definitely. Philosophically, what drives you? What motivates you? What helps you get to your flow state? Are you listening to motivational speaking?
Yo,
kind of guy,
I am, man. I listen to a lot of Inky Johnson.
Okay.
I don't know if you ever heard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a football player, and he got paralyzed on the right side, and man, he's an amazing human, man. If what he says, and I would love to meet him. If what he says is true, and that's the way he lives his life, man, he's an amazing human.
Mm-hmm.
I love people like that. I love hearing people's stories, because I'm all about motivating and inspiring people as well. Like, let nobody tell you your dreams are too big, and none of that, man. Follow your dream, man. You can do anything you want as long as you put your mind to it and go after it. You got to be all in. You can't be 50% in, 50% out. You have to go all in. So I'm really big on motivational speeches and stuff like that. So I really like to listen to stuff like that. I just love listening to people's stories and hearing how they overcome adversity. I love hearing that.
That's awesome, man. That's good stuff right there. Nothing really pushes you through some of those moments like hearing a good story that way.
That's true. Well, I mean, I've come from a rough past myself, so I have things that I remember and that I always keep in the back of my mind, and I don't want to go back to that, and I don't want to relive those. So, I want to change my life. I want to change my life because I want to change the life of my family. And it's possible, and I'm seeing it here every day. Two of my teammates, Devontae Smith and Ian Hines, just got contracts to the UFC.
Yep.
Anthony Smith, now he's ranked number 9 in the world. It's just, man, we have a lot of killers walking through here, and it's just even the fighters who are like at that point where one more fight, or maybe they're on the way to the UFC.
Well, you got guys that are teetering on that brink, very, very, very close that way. With Yusuf at any point, once he gets that call, he's going to hit the ground running with it. You have guys, you have guys all across the board. Austin Jones I feel like he is in such a good space mentally right now that as soon as he gets that opportunity, he's just going to keep on taking off and keep on going.
He's a good guy, man. He's a good friend. I'm glad I became friends with him. He's a good person. He's got a good heart, and he's overcome a lot of adversity too. Mm-hmm. And now he flipped his record around, and he's on a winning streak. So I like things like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then even just the guest appearances that walk through these doors here. This week, you guys have Macy Barber here. Macy, the future barber. Shout out to Fort Collins MMA. Got to throw a hometown plug in there. I live up in Fort Collins a little bit. But
I mean, we've had all kinds of people. We've had TJ in here for a while. We've had
saw Cowboy was here a couple
weeks
ago.
Yeah, Cowboy was here. Matt Brown. Matt Brown was recovering from an injury he had, but. And it's just a lot of different other fighters. And we have Russian Olympic wrestlers come in here. We have,
for that matter, Joe Warren himself.
Yeah, of course, Joe Warren. That guy ragdolls everybody.
Yep.
So, it's good to be able to soak up some knowledge from him. And, and it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, like I say, I really do truly believe in the principle of, when you're surrounded by greatness, you're only going to get better yourself.
That's true, yeah.
Being around people who are constantly motivated to push themselves to be getting better, because, nobody else is going to do it for you.
No.
That work isn't going to put itself in.
Yeah.
So being able to feed off each other, that's huge. And I see it every single time that I come back down here and see it in the room. Like tonight with Professor Busy's class. That was a very full room tonight. And it just seems like I started coming around here at the beginning of the year, this last year, and it's just grown and grown and grown.
It was like 40, 45 people,
Yeah, that's incredible.
A big class. That's a huge class. And everybody's a killer. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, and not only that, is what I like about the gym is the fact that everybody's a good person. I mean, you can be a good athlete, but you can be a dick.
Mm-hmm.
You can just be rude. I mean, everybody's just so nice, so genuine, and they're they're freak athletes. They're really good at what they do, and the good thing is they got a good head on the shoulders, and that's what makes you even better human. And I like to surround myself with that. I've taken the negative people out of my life. It was so much better. I lost friendships, because I made a change in my life, and I'm okay with it. You know what I mean? I'm okay with it, and I'm here now, and I'm just, like I said, I'm excited to. Like Coach says, I trust the process, and I'm eager to see how it unfolds. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, you know exactly where you're at with it that way. I feel like that's half the battle. Knowing that, okay, you can recognize that there are these points of negativity. Half the time, I don't know. Maybe it's just that people are so blinded by the stuff that they're going through on a routine basis that they may not think that this is negative, but it is.
Right.
But I think it's a very mature point that you reach in your life where you start to realize what is holding you back. I'm a big Gary Vee fan, and he always I'm not sure if you're familiar with who Gary Vee is. He's a big entrepreneur, internet marketer, so on and so forth. Creates a lot of content out there. Huge on like the positivity. They don't let anybody hold you back, sort of stuff. So he might be someone worth listening to on the positivity and the motivation side. But his thing is, most people in your lifetime, there is. Maybe it's a thing, most likely usually it's a person or maybe a couple of people that are holding you back. What is really truly holding you back? And if you can figure out what it is that's holding you back, and if you can have the wherewithal to either change or break away from what is holding you back, and sometimes it may be something as difficult, it may be your spouse that is the one who's kind of that negative influence and dragging you down.
Yes.
It could be your parents. It could be a bad relationship with your management team within your workspace.
Right.
It could be any one of those different factors. But you got to figure out what it is that is holding you back from achieving your pinnacle of what you can do. What is your highest point? I believe some people are happy just being content.
Right.
And that's fine.
Yeah, that's not me.
That's fine. But if you're one who wants more, you have to be willing to separate yourself from the pack and do more to get to that point.
Yeah, very true. I'm with you on that. I don't like to be content and complacent. I don't think that's why I'm put on the earth. I actually saw a quote, and it actually got my attention. It said the two most important parts of a human's life is when they're born and when they finally know what their purpose was.
Mm-hmm.
What their purpose is.
Right.
And man, that's so true. You're born, that's the greatest thing because you're alive, you're on this earth. That's a gift.
Right.
Now use it. What are you here for? And when you figure that out, everything will make sense. You'll start knowing, okay, this is why I'm going through these. This is, I mean, life is just. There's some people that get things handed to them. I'm not one of them. I've always been the person who have to work twice as hard to get the same result. But I'm okay with that because in the end, I know I wasn't given anything, and I legit had to work my ass off for it. You know what I mean? So I'm cool with it.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I feel like just hearing where you're at and where you've gone through, you could tell that you've been able to mature through your own process.
I appreciate
we've, for the record out there, first conversation that we've had has been this evening. but I feel like I can get a pretty good read on where people are at within this process. And knock on wood, I haven't been too far off in most situations.
Right.
So, that's awesome, man. And especially if you've been able to be here and you've stuck,
Yeah.
that also says something, because I know just from chatting with some of your teammates that there's been some other big names or some guys who have some clout to them, that have some solid rep, but they don't last here.
Yeah.
And it's because they don't have it in between the ears the way that the people who have been able to maintain
Right.
and stay here do.
That is very true, man. This is very true. If you're not mentally strong, or like I said, I believe they're 50% in, 50% not. You know what I mean? They're not all in, because this place, man, you'll figure out real quick if this is what you want. Like I said, we've had high level people come in here and get kicked out or just don't show up again.
Mm-hmm.
And it sucks because you're like, oh man, they were just here, and then all of a sudden it's like you never see them. And then their work ethic shows. It shows. So, like I said, man, I'm blessed to be in this position, and I'm glad I'm headlining in Texas. That's I'm originally from New Jersey, but I've been in Texas for basically my whole life, and so I'm going back to my stomping grounds, and got to handle some business down there, and it'll be handled.
Are you fighting a Texas guy, or where's he from?
Yeah, I believe he's from San Antonio.
Okay.
But
So you'll both have some home aspects.
Yeah, well,
and crowd wise.
Well, now my home's here, so I believe he's going to be
Still be a little more
the hometown favorite, but it's fine. It is what it is. You can have
at the end of the day, it's a fight, right?
It is. I get the.
Once they lock that door, it's a different
I have a chance.
environment.
I have a chance to input my will. So, and it will be done.
That's
It will be
incredible,
done.
man. If you were to say in any weight class out there, any era, who is your dream matchup?
My dream matchup. Man, I love a lot of the old school fighters. But a lot of the fights I got to see them. You know what I mean? So I guess I'm lucky. Like from K1 kickboxing, man, I loved, of course, Ernesto Hus and Andy Hug, and those were two of my biggest kickboxing idols growing up. Was Andy Hug and Ernesto Hus, and they fought 3 times. So man, that was a badass fight. And I'm a big fan of Stephen Thompson and TJ Dillashaw. I love his footwork. Conor McGregor, of course. A lot of people may give him crap because he's cocky or whatever. I don't. I like the guy, and I genuinely think he's very good at what he does because he believes in himself. And you cannot just talk crap and be lucky in the cage. You know what I mean? You have to put in work.
Right.
And it's just like Mayweather. I don't like the guy at all. Personality wise, I don't like him. He's trash. But as an athlete, you gotta respect his work ethic. He legit works, and he'll outwork anybody. And so, Conor McGregor, like I said, I'm spoiled. I get to see all the good matchups, and of course, Anderson Silva and George St. Pierre. That would have been a good one, but I'm kind of glad.
Who would you want to fight out of any of those guys?
Out of all those?
Yeah, any era, any weight class, whatever. If you had to name your fight, who would you want to step in there with?
If I had to name my fight, I don't know. I don't know. That's a tough one. TJ's got the belt, so I'd like to fight TJ. But maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
That's the
Hopefully
plan.
so.
That's the plan.
That's awesome, man. So as we just kind of start to transition our way out of things here for the evening, what maybe haven't we discussed yet that you want to make sure that those who are out there listening, those who are out there watching, what have we not covered that you want them to know?
Tune in for the fight. It'll be live on Access TV, LFA, October 19th in Belton, Texas.
LFA always puts on a great show. They last time I had if you follow along on the social media pages, I had my little differences with Pat Miletich on the commentary the last time, but usually Pat Miletich is about as solid as it can be.
Yeah.
And granted, it's because I'm biased and I don't have to be balanced when it comes to that sort of things. And when Brandon and Austin were fighting, I'm like, hey, he's talking about both of these Johnson guys a lot more than the guys that are winning these fights here.
that tends to happen a lot.
so you know, but overall, LFA does put on a really good show.
They do.
Let's see. LFA puts on a great show. You know, they always have very quality stuff to add in with their versions of their little embeddeds and their video reels and all that sort of stuff. They got crews coming up for you sometime soon.
Who?
Do they have like any sort of video crews or anything coming up to do previews?
I don't know. I'm
not sure. You just take it and run with it as they come.
You know, my job is to get ready for a fight, and that's what I'm doing. And like I'm enjoying it, man. I'm loving it. You know, I found a new love for it, and I think that's the most important part. So, like I said, okay. I'm excited just to, you know, I'm ready to rock tonight. If the fight was tonight, I'll be ready. You know, and the fact that I get, was it 5 weeks? For the next 5.5, or whatever, 4 or 5 weeks, man, I'm spoiled. You know, obviously, I'm sure he's preparing too, and I hope I want the best Ray Rodriguez out there, and so we're gonna dance.
Absolutely, you know, make sure that you guys tune in. You know, that's it's usually 7 o'clock Mountain Time when those broadcasts kick off. Stay tuned to the show for all the threads, posts, updates, all of that. We will make sure that you get the accurate information on when that fight is going to be. My man is going to be headlining that card, so that's a big accomplishment right then and there. Hopefully, it's with this big victory that's about to come going to be the springboard, and you'll see El Guapo coming up in the UFC very soon.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I really want to take the time real quick to say thank you for coming on. You know, I know it's been a busy day for you training, you know, getting through with all of your sessions and everything. So thank you very much for coming on the show. I just want to say thank you for that. And I do want to throw a quick couple of shout outs of my own out there just to make sure that we're taking care of all the people out there. First and foremost, thank you very much Factory X for having us here in the office tonight for the show. X on the chest right there. Shout out to Brian, the Professional Predator Rogers, and FL.G Agency. So I want to say thank you very much to them. Thank you to JW Management and Jim Walter. Thank you to the Terp House for everything that they've done for me personally, as well as with the brand. And also thank you very much to a couple of music artists and groups out there, Lion League Music, as well as Project 432 and Beyond Bridges, for all the support that you guys have shown along for the show, allowing for production work to be kind of collaborated with some things. So thank you guys all out there. We want to make sure that we just keep this object in motion. This object that is in motion, staying in motion, you know, keeping that ball rolling. So thank you for everybody that's followed too as well. Go to www.cftpg.com. Pick up any of your fall and winter merchandise. We still have tanks and everything that's up there on the site. Type in those promo codes that you see on the sponsored athletes page and make sure that everything goes smoothly. Please follow along. Follow my man right here. What are those handles again online?
Instagram is El Guapo MMA. Twitter is C Gutierrez MMA. And if you go to Facebook, I have an athletes page. You know, just Chris El Guapo Gutierrez or Chris Gutierrez. And follow me, and I'll update every day as to how my training is going and what I'm doing and leading up to the fight. So hopefully you'll join the journey with me and stay tuned because it's going to be a good one.
Definitely. What was the date again?
October 19th.
October 19th. So you guys will see all of this here on your screen as we're going along, but just want to make sure that we're verbalizing it at the same time for those who are picking up just the audio feed. Thank you guys very much. Please tune in to LFA.
Dinner place for Judas, niggas claiming family, I no sacrifice. Grip a 40, sip a 40 for them gutter pains. Keep a release on the mobile for them show me nice. I ain't living right, long live the game. Maximize capital, finite physical. Fuck metaphorical, my whole life digital. Dash for that play, non playing, I never play though. And chords get stringy when you tired line the queso. Dímelo mijo, that's what they say when I free flow. Might wet that sweet spot, that's less love me flowing. From no M state, still screaming BMO. My time is my time, homie, I speed slow. No eyes, strong ties, fuck a Rico. Give thanks, drive slow and stack peso. Kiss your minds out to my little beso, yeah. Lay low and stay cool, the shit stressful, boy. That's why I stay high.
Look, there they go, macadamian, don't know what brainy in a match of cranium, so we roll up on you like Damien in that Mercedes Benz. Got weed and drink with some lady friends who got the latest shit, but they fans and shit, so I ain't hit. Damn, here go the bass again, renovate your place again. We on the Vegas strip, rockin' straight out that bodega shit. You know we so legit, with no limit like I'm Soldier Slim, but I'm more like PMC. Pinkies up, feel me? Got my soldiers with me and my youngins down the ride. Got some bread up in the hills, got some sauce up on the side. Got Tino in here working like a nigga working nights. Said your girl just ain't his type, she just tryna catch a ride, and she with it, and she so committed. Damn, your boy is fresh to death and you ain't even seen it. We cut from a different cloth and you can check my linens, cause I was tryna stand out when you was tryna fit in. Adios.